What's up, Mux?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm hanging.
I hear you.
So everybody should be coming in here in a second. So
I'm gonna lay my phone down just a second and finish an email real quick.
Okay, yeah, take your time.
I'm back.
Hit the mic. You might use earbuds. Hey, can you hear me, Mux? Okay, yeah, I had to get Wi-Fi set up in here.
Yep.
So we're waiting on Richard and Mike. Mike's probably having issues. Let me call him right quick because he never used this before either.
All right.
I'm gonna mute my mic so it don't disturb. All right, I think we got him on. I think he'll be logging in a second. And Mr. Barnett, there you go. Look, man, turn that camera off, man.
Did that do it?
Yeah, that did it. All right, we're missing the last person is Richard. Let's see if we can find him right quick. I'm pretty sure you're having the same issues. It takes a little while to get used to this thing, man, and try to figure out how to use it. But once you get to using it, though, it's pretty dang going good. All right, let me go mute one more time, see if I can find Richard. So I just text Richard, and I know he just texted me about 9:30, so I know he's up and moving around, so I don't know. He's not contacting back.
I just plugged in. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we got you.
And I've got a little technical thing going on with my phone here. I hope I don't. I'm going to go back a couple pages. Just lost video. Still got audio, right? VR, I still got audio.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, you do.
All right, I lost video for a second. I might have to call back. I don't want to drop at least audio. Okay, got you back, I think.
Yep. All right, well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started because I pretty much have all of Richard's information of what he presented for PNC. Let's start with a quick prayer, guys, if y'all don't mind. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity to serve the community and to better ourselves individually. We ask, Lord God, to continue to be a strong presence in our organization, to be a strong driving force in the decisions that we make. We ask you, Lord God, to continue to provide us with visions and to provide us with opportunities. All things we ask. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Yep. So I'm gonna give a quick update on progress. So I was able to get all of the paperwork sent to the IRS a few weeks ago. and we got the payment for the IRS determination, and everything was sent. So we sent $400 for the IRS for the application. I also saved all of the files and everything related to SRG to a Google Doc. Well, it's a Google Drive, but it's a folder in the drive. So I sent all of you guys a link so you can go into that drive and see everything that we have relating to SRG. And I think you guys have the capability to also save stuff. So if you have a file that you want to save and you want to share, don't worry about trying to, email it to everybody. Just upload it to the drive and then just let me know and let everybody know that it's in there. And that way it's archived and we know where it is.
Okay.
So where we stand with the IRS, you get a chance, you can go back and look at it. But the letter basically, so we got this on January the 2nd, and it basically outlines our employer identification number, document locator number, and assistance number. And the letter reads, "Dear applicant, we received your application for exemption from federal income tax and your user fee payment. During the initial review process, applications for exemption are separated into two groups. One, those that can be processed based on information submitted, and those that require additional information to be processed. Your application falls into the first group. You'll receive a determination letter within approximately 90 days from the date of this notice stating you're re-exempt from federal income tax. If your application falls into the second group, you will be contacted when your application has been assigned an exempt organization specialist for review. You can expect to be contacted within approximately 180 days from the date of this notice. After 180 days, you haven't been notified of your application was assigned to a specialist, you can contact customer service Monday through Friday at a toll-free number shown above to check on the status. Individuals calling on behalf will need to provide the following information, which is name, tax, your employer identification number, document locator, blah, 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 blah. So basically, we're on track for 90 days, basically, to get our federal exemption status approved, which is really, really good because Richard and I were thinking anywhere between, well, actually 3 months and at the most 6 months. So if we can get this done in 90 days, that'd be great.
What would that allow our entity to do, VR? Does that have to be in place before we can actually have any official events, meetings, etc.? Is that necessary to finalize everything?
Well, it's not necessary, but like we can't solicit funds and then whoever's submitting those funds can't write it off.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to say give us $10,000 and they're going to use it as a tax write-off, they can't use it until we have a tax exempt status.
Gotcha.
Right. But we're on track though. We're doing good. So let's jump into the bank selection. So I know Mike had talked about Bank of America and the fact that he's in Atlanta, how we can, transfer funds or everybody have access to, an entity that, kind of facilitates the need that we have being spread out all over the East Coast, basically. But I don't know, I didn't look at Bank of America, Mike, so I don't know what the guidelines were. I know Richard submitted for PNC Bank, which I can go over that. And he sent me a list of 10 checking accounts for nonprofit organizations. And Bank of America is on here, but I can read off what Bank of America does, but it doesn't really seem too advantageous to us other than the fact that they're all over the place. So I can go over Bank of America. I forgot that they were on here.
And Vaughn, and also, I just threw Bank of America out, but I mean, it's a couple other banks that are, a lot more national. I know, Wells Fargo has a pretty heavy presence down in Atlanta, and as well as I think in the, in the northern area. But, again, with technology today, I mean, even with me being in Atlanta, even if I can't physically walk into a bank, I mean, it's, the technology with Zelle and wires. I mean, it may not be that major of an issue.
Right, I understand. And
Well, and
I'm
also
sorry.
Bank of America will allow you to make a deposit with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
By the way, sorry, my bad. I have not introduced Muggs to Mike. Mike Boston, this is Jared Smith. Jared Smith is one of my longtime friends and one of my closest confidants. Anytime I have issues that you and Richard and my wife can't solve, problem, I'm going to ask Muggs after they're all of y'all.
okay.
All right. Hey, Muggs, it's nice meeting you, brother. Man, I'm still in the bed. Otherwise, I'd throw you a peace sign or something. But I'm sure I'll meet you soon.
I know we will. You good? I just got home from a 2-day Essentials of Municipal Government class in Hickory, and I won't show my whole attire either. just my shirt.
Yeah,
just
he
my
got
shirt.
that Duke shirt on, boy. All right, well, that's cool. Yeah, let me go down this list of banks that's on this 10 checking list, because pretty much everybody's on here except for that we were considering, except for Fidelity. But Fidelity is not on this list. So PNC, it's kind of, this is a little misleading because Richard sent, I don't know if he sent information for checking accounts for regular business accounts last night, but this one is, it specifically says 10 checking accounts for nonprofits, and it then lists, the outline for opening that account. So it says PNC Bank for relatively inactive nonprofits with low account balances and checking accounts offered by PNC Bank. And then it says it eliminates expenses by no minimum balance requirements, no monthly maintenance fees. The account also comes with a debit card, online banking, paperless statements, and no charge bill paying. Which I thought that.
Who is that?
That's PNC Bank.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds really, really good. And I thought that kind of, and I think PNC is national in the mic.
I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, and I probably should have did a little homework, because like all that stuff is great, but at the end of the day, if they don't really have no history of truly supporting new nonprofits, that's something to, think about as well. Because hell, I mean, I guess I'd rather pay a $10 monthly fee with a bank that's going, has a history of supporting nonprofits than, getting a free checking account, but, no support.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. And I think I said on our last phone call, and I'm not saying get involved in a whole lot of laborious work, but I would agree with that history of working with nonprofits, and also, walk in and shake hands with somebody and tell them what you're all about. I think that's where the rubber meets the road a lot of times, a handshake and an eye-to-eye contact.
Yeah, and that's what Jacoma and I were talking about last night. And I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because it's going to be a pretty good segue into mechanics and farmers. And that's basically what we were trying to figure out is, what's going to be more advantageous for us, which bank is actually going to be the more relationship building, acceptable to us. And yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, let's run down the rest of these, and then we'll get to mechanics and farmers last, I guess, since it's not on this list. So Bank of America, Wells Fargo is on this list too, so I can run through Wells Fargo too. Wells Fargo for large organizations with paid employees and high levels of monthly charge card activity. The simple business checking account at Wells Fargo can be linked to the bank's merchant services and payroll services for automatic deposits and payments. Organizations can also open a 403B retirement plan, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say anything about what kind of fees they have or anything like that. Bank of America, they do provide debit cards for employees, provides additional cards with a preset spending limit and withdrawal limits. And the account waives fees on minimum balances of $5,000. Low activity, BB&T. The accounts don't have a minimum balance requirement and does not have maintenance fees, and they do have coin and currency deposits also free of charge. And that's those. Now let's get to mechanics and farmers. Mechanics and farmers is the one that I really got the most information about, that that would actually kind of serve our purpose for relationship building. But I think they have they got a minimum balance to open an account at $100. The maintenance fee is $6, and no maintenance fee if you maintain a $500 minimum daily balance or a $650 average balance. Checks are 15 per statement cycle, and then 50 cents each after that. And deposits are 10 per statement cycle and 50 cents after that. Now let's get to the good part about mechanics and farmers, which is they do support nonprofits, and they have sponsorships for nonprofits. So you actually submit a request for sponsorship, and I do have a contact name over there. So I will just read you the details around sponsorship requests. M&F Bank is committed to promoting personal and community development, as our mission statement clearly states. Giving back to the community is important to us, and goodwill of the public is invaluable to M&F Bank. As a community bank, we also must be responsible and prudent stewards, which means that we cannot honor all requests regardless how worthy the cause. The following are our funding priorities. So they will potentially sponsor educational programs or education. Success is rooted in the sound of education, and M&F Bank supports organizations and events that are focused on enhancing the quality of or access to education in our markets. Financial literacy. As a community bank, M&F Bank believes helping people of all ages becomes a better financial decision makers is vital to developing a stronger community. We support organizations and events that are focused on improving the level of financial literacy in our markets and community development. M&F Bank is certified as a community development financial institution for the commitment to supporting the economic development and well-being of communities it serves. We support organizations and events that are focused on strengthening the local community and business environment. So actually, I think we would probably qualify for all three of those. Two of them for sure. So, but
sounds like it's part of the SRG mission statement.
Yeah, exactly. Like we hitting on all cylinders on that. So I think we could probably get them to help us out, and get them to kind of buy into our cause at least on one of those.
Well, and while you're at it, if I may interject something right here, the CEO is James Seals. He serves on the board of North Carolina State Chamber of Commerce, Durham County Chamber of Commerce, Carolina Small Business Development Fund, Downtown Durham Incorporated, Duke University Chancellor Community Health Advisory Board, North Carolina Banking Association, ICBA Minority Banking Council, and the North Carolina A&T State University Board of Visitors. Already.
Yeah, heavy hitter.
What was that, Mike?
No, I was saying that sound like you're a heavy hitter.
I'm sorry. Well, and I already see a couple of inroads right there that we may be able to take advantage of, as soon as we become established, official, signed, sealed, and delivered. That, and that's what I like to see people with common interest. Again, you shake a hand, show your mission statement, and here's what we're trying to do. You can develop, concentric circles that touch each other, and, somewhere down the road, somebody knows Michael Jordan.
Somewhere.
Right.
It's not far. It's not far either. And I'll give you an example in a minute when I'd like to say something else about a possible fundraising opportunity in just a minute.
Really excited.
Cool. So, Jacoma and I were talking about, mechanics and farmers last night, and the fees, and the minimum deposit and all that stuff last night. And I really do like it, but at the same time, like, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea, but we just have to determine if we want to. Is it worth it? Is this potential relationship worth the fees? Basically, is what we have to determine.
Right.
I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest with you. I mean, I know we're young. You can always open up another account, anytime we get ready. But
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, obviously, we being a new nonprofit. I mean, obviously, ain't I don't think it's those relationships are developed over time, and I think that if we decide to start there, and over time, we see that we're really not benefiting from that relationship because we have choices and who we can do business with.
Right.
Then we can look at some other alternatives, but I think that is not going to necessarily be an issue specific to mechanic farmers. I think that will probably be an issue with any bank we go to.
right.
The fact that we're new,
Okay. Hey, Muzz, last time we met, didn't Richard say he would be secretary? I can't remember. I tried to find my minutes, man, and my minutes got all jacked up. So I don't know where they are. I can't find them.
I would have to agree with that. Basically, limited knowledge I have of that meeting. I mean, limited memory I have of that meeting. I do remember the meeting. Obviously, I'm not sure I can confirm that he said he'd be secretary, but
I think it was him because, I'm not. It was between you and him because we elected Jacoma to be our social media manager, and then it was either you or him that was going to be the secretary. So I couldn't remember if it was you or him. So if it wasn't you, it must be him.
Well, definitely wasn't me. Right?
I think you did. I think I remember you, even though I wasn't on the call, unfortunately. I think I remember you saying that Richard did say something about it.
Okay. That's cool. So, and that's another thing. Like, whoever we decide to go with, all the signees or signatories are going to need to be at the bank. So I'm trying to figure out who all needs to, be signatories. Do we all need to be signatories on it? Or if we all need to be signatories on this account, then it's going to make it kind of, it's going to make it a little difficult to get all of us at one bank at one time. But we can vote on it if you guys want to, like all, nay, or what. I don't know what y'all want to do. Any suggestions, any thoughts? So I guess it's really not that relevant, just I don't think we're gonna be writing a lot of checks any day going way, but
Right. Could change though.
Could change, exactly. Ms. Martin, you got any suggestions? Any thoughts?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think I don't think everybody needs to be signatories. I think it could be one plus, another person, and then, financials are always presented to the group for checks and balances. But
so it's agreed that at least the secretary needs to be on the list, right?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
And then I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think Mike has the, really good banking knowledge, so he could probably be the second on it.
You cool with that, Mr. Boston?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, let's vote on that. Let's vote on it, and then let's see.
Just something to keep in mind. If we do decide to go with, with a local bank that's not national, the fact that I am in Atlanta, I wouldn't want that to hold up anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we need, you know what I'm saying? Like if something was needed and I'm in Atlanta and we're not going with a national bank and my signature is needed for something, I don't want to, put us in a situation where we got to slow things up. So that's something.
Did we vote on the bank already?
No, we hadn't got there yet.
Okay, so maybe we should vote on a bank. But then, there is always electronic signatures and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So
that's true. That's absolutely that's a good
yeah.
point. You're right. Yeah.
So, all right, y'all want to vote on the bank first? That's really one of the things we need to get resolved. I think we need to get resolved today. Another thing, we were talking about last night. We do have time. We do have about 3 months, but I'd like to get this piece of business out the way, though.
Well, if I may, and Vaughn, do you have an official title with SRG?
Other than chairman, no.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would like to enter a motion that Southern Renaissance Gentlemen adopt its first banking relationship with mechanics and farmers. I believe they're headquartered in Durham. It's obviously easy access to you, and certainly wouldn't have any opposition to meeting with you and introducing ourselves at an appropriate time. But I would move that we adopt mechanics and farmers as our first bank.
I second that motion.
So do I.
All in favor of mechanics and farmers, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Mechanics and farmers is our bank.
Good deal.
There you go.
So yeah, okay. So we'll figure out the signatures on this thing. She gave me a list of stuff that we need, and I've also uploaded it, the PDF that she sent me to the share drive that you guys should have access to. So if you want to take a look at it and read it over, be my guest.
Okay.
It's in a folder called SRG Bank Research, I think that's the name of the folder. Should be pretty fast, pretty easy to find. All right. And so we got a bank election. We determined the signees. Recap for last meeting. I really don't remember, and I don't have my minutes, but I think basically what we did was, like I said, we elected Richard as the secretary. We elected Giacomo as the social media manager. Muggs, I'm gonna think you might need to start thinking about an official title for yourself also, because I don't know what to put you in. Do whatever you want to do, man. You know.
Okay.
If you want to, you know, and we can figure that out. Oh, listen to this.
What about community development for Muggsy?
I like that idea.
That's fine.
And relationship building, all of that.
Okay.
Community development director. And what'd you say, babe?
I just said relationship building, but I guess it all falls under community development. So.
Okay.
Yep. And I'll develop a little not bio, but a little bit of legalese for that, you know, community development, you know, something, you know, a mission statement for that as well.
Great. And that's a segue into my next thing that I need. So Giacomo and I also started working on the website, and we're pretty much ready to go, but we don't have anything to put in it. Basically, it's blank. I don't have any pictures, no bios or nothing. The website for the group, website is ready to go, but we got to have some content. So I want to start with bios and a bio picture for everybody for the board. Giacomo and I will work with everybody individually on their own time schedule to get some photographs, and we'll probably just come by and just take them with an iPhone and kind of edit them a little bit and then stick them up on the page. But I need you guys. I need a bio for everybody.
Okay.
All right.
And I guess once you get it typed up, you can just save it down to the Google Drive, and then I have access to it.
Okay.
And I've had a recent picture made at our city hall that goes. It's get ready to go on the Town of Stoneville website. So I'm pretty sure I can use that. That was a professional photographer done.
Okay, that works. That's about all I got. Any new business? Anything new we need to discuss? Anybody got something you want to bring to the table?
Well, one thing. Opening a bank account, you know, with some funds. Do we know how we're going to do that?
Great question. So we got to open this account with at least $100. So I guess we need to figure out how we're going to come up with this $100.
Well, as a go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and also, Vaughn, I know earlier you had mentioned that it was $400, you know, for the tax exempt paperwork to be submitted. I mean, you know, how can, you know, we kind of, you know, I guess kind of share some of that cost and, you know, kind of help, you know, you get some of that money back too.
Yeah, we can talk about that. If you guys feel like you want to contribute to that and kind of offset some of that, that would be wonderful, be great. If not, let's just move forward. But I think I want to get, if you guys got some, you know, some funds you want to contribute, I think it'd be better served right now to get it contributed to this minimum balance, get the account open, and if you got anything else left over, let's just, you know, divvy that back towards reimbursement for the 400.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely, you know, I'm willing to do that.
Me Myself as well, and I'll just interject this right now. It would be real easy if, we could, go ahead and have a nonprofit PayPal account, and that's real easy. I use it a lot. So, I've got funds in my PayPal account right now, and I can contribute immediately.
I think we already have a SRG PayPal account. If not, I can set one up. That's easy to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
I can get that done by the end of the week. No problem. You guys want to kind of let's talk about let's talk about and solidify an amount. And whatever you guys feel comfortable with, I'm comfortable with. But we know we need to at least come up with $100.
And that was for the bank account?
Yeah, so we got to have $100 for the bank account.
Well,
and a $6 monthly maintenance fee on that $100.
You just, I tell you what, just to go ahead and solidify that right now, email me the PayPal email address, and I'll take care of the first 100.
Thank you, Mr. Muggsy. We appreciate that.
ASAP. You're welcome.
Carefully she covered it because, as you can see, there's a little depression over there. So she curled that carefully and also covered it. And once she lays the egg, then she goes.
All right, we'll get right on that. All right. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, what you tell me, you just tell me what's needed, and we'll, I'll make it happen. I mean, like I said, I'm actually, I'm in town, this weekend, so maybe we link up. I can, whatever you need, I can just give it to you this weekend.
All right. What do you think about? Can you match Muggs 100?
Yeah.
All right. Then that way, our monthly fees and stuff like that will be covered. And I don't know what Richard's situation is, but I asked him if he can match 100 also.
Okay.
If we weren't here at this moment, this one and the following days wouldn't make it. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for visiting us.
And like Don Corleone would say, and that makes the peace.
And that makes what?
That makes the peace.
Right.
So I think that's all I got, guys. Sorry I went over a little bit, but we had a little technical issues, but I think we got this thing down now so we can record. And so the Google Hangout is supposed to be recorded directly to YouTube. And once the file has been saved to YouTube, I can send out a link and you can go back and you can watch it over and over again. At some point in time, like once we get, how we operate with our meetings and get them solidified, we can also invite people to attend but not participate.
Right.
So they will be listed out across the bottom of your screen.
And also, I guess I don't want to assume, but just clarification on the actual voting members, who's allowed to vote.
That's 5.
Okay, board of directors. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
So the way we have the group set up, I solicit, I like to solicit information, ideas, proposals from, so we have almost 400 people in our YouTube and our Facebook group, and I consider them members, and they can submit ideas and proposals, but they can't vote on them.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So anybody else have anything?
No, I don't.
Mrs. Martin, any ideas on social media campaign?
A lot of ideas, which probably would take a whole hour for me to go through. But what I can do is just put together a timeline and just some content information and put it up on the Google Drive or whatever sharing platform we use. Okay. That way everybody can take their time to look through it, and maybe we can discuss it you know, at the next meeting, like the first step at the next meeting. So yeah.
Okay. And Vaughn, I may have missed this, but I mean, are we gonna have kind of a little bit more, you know, like regularity with the meetings? So like, you know, on the first, you know, second Saturday of every month, or you know, or it's just kind of, you know, with everybody kind of busy, just kind of gonna try to fit it in when we can. I mean, ideally, I'd like to kind of get some level of routine so I can just kind of, as I'm making plans, you know, I can, you know that, all right, well, you know, I got this meeting for 1 hour blocked off, so I know I need to work around that.
Good
Yeah,
point.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, we can do that. As far as like frequency, I know I want it like at least once a quarter. But if we need, I think we're probably gonna need to be a little more frequent than that until we get rolling and get these programs going. So I hadn't thought about a frequency, to be honest with you.
I think, I mean, at the very least, I think maybe just once a month touch point. Even, I mean, it doesn't even have to, you know, be, you know, just maybe just a going around the table if we really don't have anything. But I would say, you know, like you said, in 2 weeks, you know, as we're trying to kind of get everything up and going, maybe just, you know, once a month to just kind of keep it relevant. You know what I mean? And kind of keep it fresh on our, you know, in our minds what it is that, you know, we're out here trying to do. So
Yeah, and I second, you know, I agree with that, especially we can have at least maybe 2 consecutive months with everybody present.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's do, how about the second Saturday of every month?
Okay. 10:30.
10:30, second Saturday.
Okay.
All right, 1 hour. We'll schedule an hour, but may not need it all.
Yeah, let's schedule an hour.
Okay.
Good deal.
All right.
And with that being said, I'll submit a motion to adjourn.
I second that notion.
All right.
All right.
All in
All
favor?
right, everybody. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.